You're listening to Radio Gibraltar. It is just coming up to 1:45, and it's a very, very big week for Brexit. Theresa May's withdrawal agreement finally going to be put before a parliamentary vote, but the arithmetic is not on her side. Now, with me in the studio to talk about what could possibly how this week could play out is our news editor, Jonathan Sacramento. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Ros.
It's still not looking good, is it?
No, the last estimates carried out by the BBC Politics last week was that Theresa May would have a deficit of 228 MPs. So that's a massive margin. It would be hugely embarrassing for her to lose this vote in Parliament, especially since it was already delayed once. It was supposed to happen in December. We've seen what could be perceived as a last-ditch attempt from the leaders of the European Union, Jean-Claude Juncker and Donald Tusk.
Do you think that will convince any MPs?
There's nothing in the letter that they've sent Theresa May today which wasn't already in the withdrawal agreement. So all there is some posturing, some clarification, a rewording, a more palatable expression of words. You know, they're saying essentially that the backstop is only temporary, that there's no intention for it to become anything permanent. They also say in the letter that there will be no renegotiation of the deal. So pretty much everything that's been said already in the withdrawal agreement. There's nothing new there.
Okay, so let's assume then that it is going to be voted down. There was an amendment that went through last week, meaning that the government then only has 3 days to put a plan forward, a plan B forward. Is there a plan B?
Well, judging from Theresa May's press conference today in Stoke-on-Trent, she's pretty much still going for plan A. I imagine this is strategic. Any mention of a plan B would imply less than 100% confidence in plan A. But there's been a lot of people, a lot of commentators suggesting that it's possible that she could get a deal in a second time round if there's a second vote. And there's precedents for this. I mean, you look at the 1990s, John Major, on the Maastricht Treaty, he fails to get it through, then presented it back to Parliament, completely unchanged a few days later, and it got through.
Of course, on this occasion, we've got Labour threatening to pass a no-confident motion in the government as well. But also there's a crucial amendment, a Hilary Benn amendment, where he's given MPs the option to vote either for to vote down the deal and also not to have a no-deal Brexit as well. So he's basically saying it's okay, you can vote down the Theresa May's deal and still not have a no-deal Brexit. But crucially, it gives the power to Parliament to decide what happens next. Now, if that happens, if that amendment is passed, could we be in a situation where Theresa May no longer has the power?
Well, what she's said today in her statement in Stoke is that no Brexit is a more realistic possibility than no deal. That's what she's saying.
Right.
And that the MPs have a duty to respect the result of the referendum and to see that through for everyone who voted for leaving the European Union.
Right. So no Brexit is a possibility, particularly as the European Union have said that they will extend.
Yes, ironically,
deadline.
You might have a lot of people in Gibraltar hoping that it gets voted down if that means that there won't be a Brexit.
Yeah, in the UK, I would imagine as well. Do you think she'll survive this week?
I don't know, I mean, we've heard those words before. We've heard those words, as early as mid-November. We've heard people saying, she won't last past lunchtime, or she won't last past dinner time, and she's still there.
Yeah. So the vote is quite late tomorrow evening, this crucial vote, isn't it? Right.
Yes. We're expecting it to happen around about 9 in the evening. And that's the actual vote itself, so we don't know when we'll get a result.
Right, okay. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow, Jonathan. Thank you very much for keeping us updated. Quite appropriately, firework next. Katy Perry.